Right. Just want to. You guys need to be filled in. Listen, I spoke to Miguel. Okay. I told him he didn't know about the north and the south. I told him he respects it. He's gonna stay the fuck out of the south.
Damn.
The problem they have doesn't lie with us. The reason they started shooting loose because apparently when we were being held up, you went on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, I was calling it in that they were circling, and they came back, and then they told me to stop talking on the radio, so I did that. But yeah, I see it.
Now, I mean, I told Clark and Apple they did nothing wrong. They actually did the right thing. Let's not, I'm not gonna stand here and say, SOB, if they wanted a conversation, they
would have fucking called.
They would have called us. When I told them that, they basically said like, they basically said that,
Brother, anyone can roll up 6 deep with class 2s on someone's block and catch them with their pants down. My thing is like, did we have no clue this happened beforehand, and we just weren't informed, or like, so were we just not informed?
They've been Luciano. They've been the North is apparently Apple's telling us they've been robbing money runners, and it's like the problem is we are in a shit situation here because if they're starting shit, which they can do whatever the they want, how are we going to find out about it? And what's stopping them rolling through? Because people don't know about the divide yet. So things are an absolute mess right now, and things are going to be a mess until we, I think Arush needs to speak to Forehead. And I've let Miguel know, but expect this to happen more often because they're not going to call us every time they do some dumb shit or take someone out.
Yeah, I mean, right on the spot, I called Lang, right? Oh, he called me, and he's like, they had robbed these money runners, this SOB money runner. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then right at that minute, these guys roll up on us like instantly.
Fucking
I didn't know beforehand. It was just right as, like 10 seconds almost, 15 seconds.
Ocean dumped that guy, and then this is exactly why. I know you guys want to fight each other's wars, right? And like, me personally, I'm sorry, but like, I personally don't, and I'll stand on that. Like, it's not that I hate these guys. I don't. I don't hate Lang. I don't hate Tony. No matter what's happened, it's just that, like, brother, I don't want to keep. I don't want to keep doing wars, and I don't really want to fight someone else's wars when they're out there robbing people, And it's. I don't know how we stop this from happening. To be honest. I don't think they should have to clean up our mess, and I don't think we should have to clean up their mess, personally. It's just, I just don't think it's fair.
I could see your point, but like, I think it's inevitable to a certain degree. It's just, I see what you're saying with Miguel. He said, I can respect it, blah, 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 South, whatever. But the fact is, like, I don't think overall long-term it's going to work. So I just think we fight each other's shit. We just gotta be informed and not take meetings outside after we get a phone call about that kind of shit. Like, obviously, it's 10 seconds later. Like, it's one of those things. But like, I wish did they just do it? Like, this is a two-parter.
I don't know.
If they just did it and they called us immediately and we got rolled up on immediately, timing. Sometimes timing is just shit, right? But if they did it a while ago and they're just calling us a millisecond before we get rolled up on, brother, you got to give us a fighting chance. Like they gotta give us a heads up.
I hung up with Lang, and they rolled up like almost instantly after that.
They didn't. Miguel, listen, I don't know how much to trust this. He didn't know about the split. They know now. I give him. I didn't give him the whole spiel because it's our business, not theirs. But I told him what's up. His exact words are, "I'll stay the fuck out of the South, and I'll take this issue up with Lang."
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, do we want that? Because like I told Harry this, Slush, he's the only person I've heard say that. Whenever I talk to Marty, it's the opposite, and he's like the spokesperson for Lang.
I feel like I keep repeating, like, this is the agreement
we agreed on. I don't know how it's
I don't know
clear.
why other people are saying otherwise.
What is Martin saying? What is Martin saying?
Because I think they think otherwise. No, I know. I'm not saying it's out of hate. I'm just saying, like, when I held that initial meeting, our last like official together meeting, and said some people are going to go to the South. There's a list, blah blah blah. You'll be notified. Or sorry, go to the North. Some people are going to be notified, blah blah blah. I was saying that I'm still going to fight for these guys. They're going to still fight for me. because that was like at the time that was kind of the agreement. And then you guys walked in and said the opposite, and I was like, okay, so then it's the opposite. But then Marty continued to say the initial thing. So
didn't we then walk in, me and Luce, and just completely stomp that out? Like,
Yeah, we did.
Clark.
Personally, I disagree with that call. But if that is the call, then that is the call, and I will follow it.
Why do you disagree with the
is-
call?
Go on. Yeah, I'd like to hear this too.
In my opinion, like there's still Cypress. Like,
Yeah, I agree,
Like,
brother. But why was there separation in the first place? You think we wanted this shit?
We
You
don't
think we
want
wanted
this
this
shit,
shit?
man.
no, I'm not
So-
saying anyone wanted this shit.
So if there was a separation, why are we gonna fight their wars?
If they're going out robbing money, robbing money runners, like the way I
agree,
see
it's
it,
not
the-
ideal. I think
it's
we
not
all agree
ideal,
it's not ideal.
and the way I see it is, if we want to act as one big happy family, this split should never happen in the first place.
I agree. It is very confusing territory, but that's just like maybe it's emotion, maybe it's but that's where my head is at. But if you guys do not want to do that, if you don't want anyone in the South to do that, then we will not do that. No problem.
I'd like to stick to the agreement until otherwise.
I mean, it doesn't mean it can't change in the future, but that's the agreement, brother.
As per, yeah.
There was-
Until otherwise, yeah, exactly.
There was a split, and this fighting each other's wars is not splitting. That's still being won, right? And there has to be a difference, and that's the main difference right there. If war spills, we fight it together. If not, handle
like
your
the
own
best-
business.
Okay, but so what do we do in this situation now? Because we just lost 2 shotguns, 3 or 4 deagles.
We have to swallow the pill. Miguel now knows. Hopefully, in the future, this doesn't happen again. Arusha's going to talk to besties. They're the 2 main culprits. Like, we need to rebuild in the South a little bit before we start even thinking about wars. We need to get back on our feet before we start thinking about fighting anyone else's war. I mean,
So
I'm
this
shocked
is,
that
this is just we take it, we move on.
we have no choice. In terms of Miguel is convinced that they had us with our hands up, and Luce was on the radio. I mean, if I was in that situation, I probably would have blasted too. You and Zeke try to save it. You're doing a pretty good job. You made the right call, but we got there. The cops took the shit. Complete waste.
Yeah, it's just frustrating.
Yeah,
I
it
see what
is.
you're-
Well,
I see what
I'm
you're
getting
saying.
worked
I'm
up. I mean,
I am as
because
well.
on paper this sounds like a great idea, but unfortunately, brother, me and Luce, none of us wanted this split, but this is a reality.
But we
And
just have to watch from across the street. Like,
well, brother, did
That-
they
that's
come
on
in
my-
saving us? Let me ask you that.
I don't know. I don't know where they were at. It's not a bad question.
We
but-
knew last minute that these guys were fighting each other. They were on rooftops and shit, waiting in the north, knowing that they were getting hunted down by gangs. We knew last minute. And then you want us to go fight their wars? I mean, if they really wanted to keep an eye out, they would have called us a long time ago. Let us know ahead of time. Last minute, I hang up the call, just pulls in.
The thing is, listen, this outcome probably serves them best because they want us to unite in wars. Now, to be honest with you, like, I don't really like. I'd rather not fight each other's wars, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Me personally, like, I feel like, I'm personally get tired of wars every week with the same people. Like, we
I
have a
agree.
chance here
I
to try and
agree.
do something a little bit different, to get back on our feet, to get our money up, splash out a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you can start fighting wars because want to start robbing money runners. Like, you are going to stay in the negative, my friend. I'll tell you that right now. You will not be climbing out the hole, Clark. You'll probably be digging further down.
Yeah, but like, if I see where you're coming from, but I mean, what you said, maybe they were just sitting across the street on rooftops watching us get shot down. So that's the most frustrating thing. Is
Brother,
maybe
no
you're right.
one come through. Now, I don't know if they were there or not, but no one come through and gave us a hand. And this was going on for a hot minute. It wasn't like it was like a short thing.
Yeah. I agree with what you guys are saying. Unfortunately, and this is always our kryptonite, but if that's the case, then like we have to keep them. They have to inform us.
They do, yeah.
100%.
They just have to. Like communications just have to be way better than what we can ever dream of.
I found
for this
out
to work then.
I found out in prison just now that there was a bank truck that was counted. The besties counted the North's bank truck or some shit.
Mm.
And then
Is that what spilled?
and then they went to go rob one of SOB's money runners. And then you know, all of a sudden now these guys are convoying. We leave in a ambulance and we see the convoy right up in the middle of the street.
Yeah, seen that.
I just don't like, you know, I have to trust that Miguel is going to stick to his word, and we have to trust the Roosh can speak to forehead. I mean, the manor, there's no way we can talk to those guys. There's no way. There's too much bad blood there, but
Guys, yeah, they told us. We can agree that they told us, but it was too late. These guys were already on our turf. They already pulled in.
I don't know. Yeah,
it was way too late.
You know, if that's the best case forward, is like set expectations for other people, but all that looks like from an outside perspective is us throwing them under the bus. Like that's if I'm another gang and I get a call from one of you guys.
SOB is convoying in Cypress right now, by the way.
Well,
right.
they yeah, thank you. They fucking
They know now. They know now.
They know.
But what is this gonna do with us in the north, though?
Listen,
other gangs, I'm not worried about. You know,
Lang
if it spills
agreed to
over, it
these
spills
terms.
over.
He's completely good with him. I think you're very much concerned about them, and I get it. You know.
Yeah.
But Lang agreed to these terms. He knows. It's not like he's agreed to this shit. He's all good with it. Things could change in the future, but for right now, like I strongly believe that, you know, we have to rebuild in the South before we start, you know, even thinking about going to war. I tell you right now.
I completely agree. I just think the North is on the complete opposite thinking.
I think they're in
that we're
denial,
at.
and I think it stems from Tony. And Tony has this like whole big view about like, oh, we're still one big family. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like he's not wrong, but the agreement has to be stuck to.
I get
we
you.
aren't fighting each other's wars.
I think you guys might need to explain that to them because I don't think they understand. Because from everyone else in the North,
In front of their warehouse right now.
whose warehouse?
The North. Apparently, whenever they robbed the besties followed them directly to their warehouse.
Listen,
and
let's
gunned
go
them
fill
down
them
in
in.
front of their warehouse.
Don't get me wrong here, Clark. All right, I hate to see our
just
boys
think-
getting bleeding and shit. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it just as much as you do.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a separation, my man. Like, otherwise, why did this all happen in the first place? Like,
I agree.
I agree. It's just I just think you guys need to tell them that because I don't think they're on the same page as we are.
I am not their
Truthfully.
Don. I am not their Don. They have a Don that can explain the agreement to them.
I will come back.
I don't think their Don even knows.
Brother, the Don agreed to it.
But I'm hearing the opposite. That's what I'm saying. I was showing Bubbles yesterday. Like everything you guys are saying, I heard the complete opposite from him. That's what I'm saying. There's a miscommunication somewhere.
What did he say exactly?
That nothing's changed. I mean, you know, nothing's changed. Like I'm still gonna have your back, your side, my back. Bop, 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 bop. War happens. Like they have the complete opposite mindset. That's why I was like, Harry, I think you guys got to tell them because I don't think they know. We like expectations need to be set, and I agree. Like what you guys are saying is they were already set. Like shut the f- up, Clark. We already set expectations. We already talked to them. We already talked to Lang. But somehow, some way, I don't think it was clear with whichever.
I don't think that's our responsibility, to be honest. They just have to clarify it with Lang. I hate that this shit's happening, man.
Yeah.
Shit sucks.
All right, let's go over there. Sorry, just now I know. I guess.
You guess? You have to know 100%.
Oh, I know. Now I know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you said bank truck, besties, and SOB countered it. Then the besties followed you to your